Alright, we gotta make a trip to the junkyard here. And unfortunately, I gotta look for some used tires. Problem is, we've got a couple of vehicles that basically, well, you can't get anything for them anymore. It used to be I could find an engine for my truck for $3,000 delivered to my door. And I don't know, the Tahoe, you can't find an LS motor for those anymore. So basically, the 220,000 mile, like 03 Tahoe, that it's basically a lemon. And there was this, like, the guy I bought it from had a stack of almost $12,000 in repairs done to it in the few years that he had it. And we had several problems. I had to replace the transfer case half because the pump rubbed through the transfer case. And so there's lots of issues. The air conditioning pump will break the belt every time you put it on it. It's not seized up, but something's wrong with it. And finally gave up on that. Let's see. The fuel tank gauge doesn't work right. The tank pressurizes itself when it's hot, and tried to replace the charcoal canister. That didn't solve it. Let's see. I'm letting the truck warm up here. And then the front end kept eating up tires, and did to crank up the torsion arms a few times, and then replaced a lot of the front end components. We still have problems. And then for a while we didn't know it, but one of the brackets was loose, so the caster camber or whatever the hell was sliding around in there, and it caused really weird things to happen. And then we're going up a hill one time, and we had the oil pressure sensor went bad, and it actually let oil spray all the way through the sensor. So I thought I blew up the motor. That left us stranded on the side of the road with a newborn baby a few years ago. And it was hot out, and we waited like 2 hours for the tow truck to get there. So that Tahoe's been nothing but a pain. And recently the alternator went out, which was no big deal, but that happened. But we found metal in the oil a couple of times, chunks of magnetic pieces of metal. Looked like kind of off of a camshaft, the only thing I could think of. And so I've just kind of been afraid. Definitely don't want to put brand new tires on it. Definitely can't afford to put brand new tires on it without a job. And then I'm driving around this damn thing, and it's leaking oil all over the damn place. And then I found a ton of metal on the drain plug. And then my other truck is a 97 with 250K, but it's got a lift kit and 35-inch bald tires on it. And they're basically, they're not that old, but they're in Arizona. Tires are basically done after like 5 to 7 years. They end up getting, so cracked and screwed up from the sun. So I can't really drive that around. And the reason I hadn't been driving that was because we had 3 kids, and 2 of them are small kids, so they needed to have car seats. But now they're getting a little bit bigger, to where we can use a booster seat. So that's cool. But so then the other thing I have is I traded my Harley that I crashed for a Volkswagen Rabbit, but it's a 2-door. and it's a 5-speed, and she can't drive a manual transmission, so I just use that for when I need to go somewhere really far. But around town here, the way the people drive and everything, you don't want to be driving a little car. Anyway, let's see if we got anything on the radio. So, in the past, I've worked as an automotive mechanic, and we moved here in 2017, and the average job that I've been able to acquire would pay about $15 to $18 an hour. And unfortunately, that's not enough money to do anything. This truck just did something extremely strange. And of course, I have not renewed my AAA towing membership. I'm a little leery. It stuttered. I've never ever seen or heard it do that. Anyway, maybe I should shut it down and check and make sure it got enough oil and everything.